I'm an addict and my name is Cora.
Hi, Cora.
Hi. And carrying the message of Narcotics Anonymous, it's the most amazing honor and privilege to me. Narcotics Anonymous is the most important thing in my life, and Narcotics Anonymous saved my life. And just a little bit about my story. My parents were drug addicts, and my whole family basically are in addiction. And so it's been a real family disease, and a lot of dysfunction happened in my family around addiction and kind of the things that people do under the influence. And so I witnessed a lot of things as a child that I shouldn't have witnessed, and that kind of gave me a good excuse to use. Once I learned how to get high at 9 years old, I thought, oh, this is like the answer to everything. I don't need to feel that. I can just push that away. And that became my first real coping tool besides anger. And so I ran with that, and I was what they would call a functional addict for many years. And eventually my addiction started to catch up with me when I was about 19 years old, and I dropped out of school. And they talk about in our basic text about addiction being a progressive illness, and for me that was true. I started with one substance, and then I kind of added things, and then when I kind of really got into the hardcore drugs in college, and it took me down, and then I kind of found a way to manage it a little bit and still be able to work and still be able to go to school somewhat. But it destroyed my relationships. I was married a couple of times, and that took that away. I lost homes and cars. And by the time I found Narcotics Anonymous, well, actually I had been sent to NA when I was 18, and I thought that this program wouldn't work for me because I thought that just going up and sitting in a chair was going to do something for me. And I really believed that that was giving recovery a shot. And so 10 years later, when I found my way back into the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, I had a realization listening to the readings at the beginning of the meeting, and it talks about honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. And I remember just like holding on to my chair and honest, open-minded, willing, okay, and like holding myself in the chair and telling myself that I would try that to the best of my ability. And I had gotten arrested. I left Northern California and was heading to New York, and stopped at a music festival in Tennessee. And after that music festival, my car broke down, and I had a little incident with a tow truck driver, and by the time that incident was over, there was a manhunt, and there was a helicopter, and I got caught. And so I had 6 felony charges I was looking at, and for some reason, they held me for about 30 days, and for 28 days I just obsessed on just one more time, and then I was going to get clean. And something shifted for me in like the 28th day of being in jail, and I surrendered, and I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I really want to get clean. And so 2 days later I was bailed out, and the judge gave me a choice to go to New York, where I was headed, or to go back to California. And I figured I didn't have a shot if I went back to California. I didn't think I could stay clean at all for any length of time. And so I went to New York, and some people I didn't really know took me in, And they said to go to a meeting every day, do some chores around the house, and get a job. And once I got there, I really, really realized the extent of my addiction when I couldn't go outside and check the mail. It was like, how am I going to go to meetings? How am I going to get a job? I can't even go check the mail without getting loaded. I was afraid that I would run into somebody out on the street who was walking their dog. And and like, what do you say? I didn't know how to say hello, without being loaded. And somebody took me by the hand, took me in my first meeting, and I couldn't look at anybody. I kind of feel like I'm doing that now. I look at the table, like recovery is a process, we learn how to look people in the eye and how to be honest about our story. And, I learned how to become employable honorably. I learned how to make an honest living. And so I went to meetings, and they suggested that I go to a meeting right out of jail. I did that. I went to a meeting every day for 90 days. I found a sponsor, and that sponsor told me to go to a meeting every day for a year because I was a chronic drug addict. And I was mad about that. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, I got high pretty much every day for 20 years, so I guess it's not that unreasonable, And I think somebody pointed out to me that recovery is like when I first used whatever certain substance, somebody usually showed me how to do that. And then when the next one came along, somebody showed me how to do that or showed me a new way or whatever. So when I got in recovery, a sponsor is a person to show me the ropes, and a sponsor is a person who takes another person on the journey of the 12 steps. And I decided that I was going to give Narcotics Anonymous an honest shot. And what that means to me is working the steps. It's a 12-step program. And so in my mind, I'm not working I'm not really participating in Narcotics Anonymous if I'm not somewhere along in my step work. And so I did that, and that was just the most incredible journey for me, because it gave me a sense of who I am, the good and the bad. And I didn't think I had any good parts when I got here. I thought I was just, like defective merchandise. I was just a defect. And when people talk about character defects, I was like, character defects? Like, I am a defect. That is the only thing there is about me. There's nothing else. I'm just a defect. And so to learn that, I have a lot of wonderful qualities, and a lot of liabilities, that I need to look out for too. And to get a sense of belonging, because I never felt like I fit in, I didn't really fit in with the drug world, and I didn't really fit in with the straight world. I didn't really fit in anywhere. And I hear just about everybody who speaks, I hear that all the time. I didn't fit in. And I thought for me it was because I grew up in the middle of nowhere in Alaska. That's why I didn't fit in. But the commonality of being an addict, that seems to be a pretty universal thing. And I was encouraged in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous to look for the similarities and not the differences. And that really, really helped me find a place too, because I can compare myself right out of my recovery. And I can compare the way I feel inside with the way that other people look on the outside. And that's, right from our literature. That's kind of a symptom of our disease of addiction. And I'm so grateful for the literature, which, is available anytime, day or night. And I'm so grateful for the phone numbers I've got of women in the fellowship who have answered their phone at 2, 3, 4 in the morning for me. And when my life fell apart in recovery, even though I was doing everything right, I had people that were just willing to come sit with me and hold my hand because I didn't feel like I could make it through without doing something, maybe not using, but some kind of harm, and I don't live that way. I don't cause harm anymore. I might hurt somebody's feelings, not on purpose or on purpose, and that's pretty much the extent of it. You know, I might get a little like ego driving my car and like not want to let somebody by, you know, but it's like pretty mild, you know, and I know that. I totally lost my thought. I totally lost my thought because I had this memory of like I used to drive in my car, you know, like I woke up behind my wheel one time like on the wrong side of the freeway and there's like a wall right there, you know, and I couldn't get back to my right side of the freeway and I was going 80 miles an hour and I like came to, you know, and I was like, you know, what am I doing? Like I'm going to kill somebody. I like, who cares about me? But I'm going to kill some mother with her children in the car, you know, or like a busload of nuns or something, you know, just something like horrible because I was so out of control. And today, because I work so hard at like honesty and daily self-appraisal, you know, using our 10th step, I'm able to not cause a lot of wreckage. And when I do cause wreckage, I can take care of it right away. And I don't know what to say other than, you know, Narcotics Anonymous gave me a life worth living, and I didn't think that was possible for me, and it gives me a lot of hope for family members, you know, I have that are out there. And I do want to say too, you know, I just decided to do the right thing. And I was out on bail when I first got into Narcotics Anonymous, and I got a job, and a good job, miraculously. And I just decided to do the right thing. And for some reason, my case was just totally dropped, just dismissed. And I'm really grateful for that. Because of that, I don't have a record. And because of my unbelievable gratitude for that, I feel very like I owe a tremendous debt that I need to make restitution for, you know, because honestly, I belong in prison, you know, I belong in prison for the crimes I committed, and to not have to do that and to be able to be free and to carry this message through sponsorship and through work with hospitals and institutions and just, you know, on the phone with another recovering addict is just really, really a tremendous honor, and I'm really grateful for it. And thank you for listening.